Welcome to this fascinating video, where we'll explore the hidden mysteries of our planet and delve into the possibility of lost civilizations, strange creatures, and underground worlds. From the ancient legends of Lemuria, a supposed lost continent in the Pacific, to the enigmatic underground city of Telos, said to be hidden beneath Mount Shasta in California. We'll also investigate the intriguing theory of hollow Earth, which suggests that our planet may be home to an inner world, and the enduring myths surrounding the legendary city of Atlantis. Get ready for a mind-bending journey as we uncover the secrets of the unknown and embrace our human curiosity to explore the depths of our world. According to legend, Lemuria was a thriving civilization that was spiritually evolved, had a deep connection with nature and the cosmos, and believed in the power of crystals for healing and communication. It is said Lemuria was destroyed by a great flood or cataclysmic event that led to the sinking of the continent. During the times of Atlantis, Lemuria was believed to have been a rival civilization, and some suggest that the two continents were at war with each other. It is said that the Lemurians were more spiritually advanced, while the Atlanteans were focused on technological progress. The destruction of Lemuria is believed to have led to the sinking of Atlantis, as both civilizations were destroyed in the cataclysmic event. Through advanced technology that enabled them to manipulate the weather and the elements, they were able to cause a massive flood by melting large sheets of ice in the sky previously used to protect the planet from harmful radiation. It is said that the Lemurians had a powerful crystal technology they used to focus the sun's rays into a concentrated beam of energy. This energy was then directed towards the ice sheet in the sky, causing it to melt and resulting in the Great Flood. That may be one and the same with the biblical flood. Some people believe that the Lemurians were in contact with extraterrestrial beings who shared their knowledge and technology with them. After the times of Atlantis, the legend of Lemuria continued to be passed down through various esoteric and spiritual traditions. In the 19th century, the idea of Lemuria was popularized by the Theosophical Society, a spiritualist organization founded by Helena Blavatsky. According to Blavatsky, Lemuria was the home of the first human race. The idea of it has since become a popular subject in New Age spirituality, with many people believing that the lost continent holds the key to unlocking hidden knowledge and spiritual wisdom. But here's where the story gets really interesting. According to some, there is a hidden city called Telos beneath Mount Shasta in northern California, rumored to house the descendants of Lemuria itself. This city is said to be accessed through a secret tunnel system beneath the mountain, and some people claim to have had encounters with these beings. Frederick Spencer Oliver was a writer who lived near Mount Shasta in the early 1900s. He claimed to have had contact with the Lemurians and wrote a book about them called A Dweller on Two Planets. Curiously, he disappeared without a trace in 1913, leading some to speculate that he was abducted by the Lemurians. Mount Shasta is also a hotspot for UFO sightings, with many people reporting seeing strange lights and objects in the sky. Some believe that these sightings are related to the Lemurians, while others believe that they are evidence of extraterrestrial activity. Bigfoot sightings are also plentiful. One of the Bigfoot encounters near Mount Shasta occurred in the early 1990s and was reported by a man named Scott Nelson. Nelson was camping with a friend near the mountain when he heard strange noises coming from the forest. The noises sounded like something large moving through the trees and bushes, and they seemed to be getting closer. Suddenly, Nelson felt something grab his foot from underneath the tent. He looked down and saw a large, hairy hand with long fingers reaching out towards him. Nelson and his friend quickly got out of the tent and ran towards their car. As they were driving away, they looked back and saw a large, hairy creature standing in the middle of the road. Many people believe that the Bigfoot sightings near Mount Shasta are connected to the Lemurians, and that the Bigfoot creatures are actually their guardians. According to legend, the Lemurians lived in harmony with nature and had a deep respect for all living beings. They were said to have coexisted with the Bigfoot creatures and had a close relationship with them. I will now recount an incredible tale of a journey to a magical world located underground. These stories help reinforce the idea that at the very least there is something worth exploring out there. The story of Olaf Jansen is a fascinating tale of adventure, exploration and discovery, and it has become something of a legend among those interested in alternative theories of history and geography. According to the story, Olaf Jansen was a Norwegian sailor who, in the late 19th century, set out on a voyage to the Arctic with his father. The two men were aboard a small fishing vessel which they hoped would allow them to make a living from the abundant fishing grounds of the region. However, as they sailed further north, they encountered strange and unexpected phenomena. The temperature began to rise, and they saw palm trees and lush vegetation on the coast. They also encountered sea creatures that were unlike anything they had ever seen before, including giant sea turtles and huge friendly beasts that resembled elephants. As they continued on their journey, they eventually came across a vast open sea at the center of the Arctic. This sea, they discovered, was surrounded by a massive ring of ice, which they were able to penetrate through an opening that they discovered. Inside this ring of ice, they found a strange and wondrous land. The climate was warm and temperate, and the land was fertile and abundant. There were towering mountains, vast plains, and great forests, and the creatures that inhabited this land were even more bizarre and amazing than those they had encountered at sea. The people of this land, whom Jansen called the Smoky God or Inner Earth, were a highly advanced and spiritually evolved race. They lived in magnificent cities that were powered by a form of energy that Jansen could not explain, and they possessed technology that was far beyond anything that existed on the surface of the earth. Jansen and his father spent several years exploring this land, learning from its inhabitants and marveling at its wonders. They eventually returned to the surface world, but Jansen never forgot the incredible experience he had had in the land at the center of the earth. One of the most famous of these stories is that of Admiral Richard E. Byrd's expedition to the North Pole in 1947. According to some accounts, Byrd led a group of military personnel on a secret mission to the Arctic in which they discovered a passage leading to the inner Earth. Like Jansen, Byrd reported encountering a highly advanced civilization that possessed technology far beyond anything that existed on the surface world. In one version of the story, Byrd and his team were greeted by a group of friendly beings who took them on a tour of the inner Earth. They saw incredible sights such as vast underground cities, glowing crystals and lush vegetation, and they were even given a demonstration of a type of flying craft that was powered by an energy source similar to what Jansen had described. Another such story is that of Alexandre David Niel, a French explorer and spiritual seeker who in 1924 claimed to have entered the city of Shambhala during her travels in Tibet. David Niel had spent many years studying Eastern philosophy and religion and had a deep interest in the mystical and esoteric traditions of the region. She had traveled extensively throughout Asia and had spent several years living among Tibetan communities. According to her account, David Niel had heard rumors of a hidden city called Shambhala, which was said to be located somewhere in the mountains of Tibet. She became determined to find this city and spent several months preparing for the journey. David Niel and her companion, a young Tibetan monk named Afo Yongden, set out on their journey in the winter of 1923. They travelled on foot, enduring harsh conditions and navigating treacherous mountain passes. After several months of travel, they arrived at a remote mountain range where they encountered a group of local nomads. The nomads, who seemed to recognize David Niel, directed her and Yongden to a hidden cave entrance. David Niel and Yongden entered the cave, and after a long and arduous journey, they emerged into a beautiful valley filled with blooming flowers and lush vegetation. In the center of the valley was a magnificent city with towering walls and gleaming palaces. David Neal claimed to have spent several weeks in Shambhala, studying with the city's inhabitants and learning about their spiritual and philosophical traditions. She described the people of Shambhala as highly evolved and with a deep understanding of the nature of reality and the workings of the universe. There are legends and stories of an ancient underground city named Rama, located beneath the surface of the modern-day city of Rama in India. According to these stories, the city of Rama was built by an advanced civilization that existed thousands of years ago. One famous account of an underground city named Rama comes from the writings of the British occultist and mystic W.Y. Evans Wentz. In his book, The Fairy Faith in Celtic Countries, Evans Wentz describes a conversation he had with a yogi in India who claimed to have visited the underground city of Rama. According to the yogi, Rama was a city of great beauty and sophistication, with towering buildings and advanced technology. The city was said to be inhabited by a race of highly evolved beings who possessed supernatural powers and a deep understanding of the mysteries of the universe. The yogi claimed that he had been led to the entrance of Rama by a group of ascetic yogis who had shown him the way through a hidden passage. Once inside the city, he had been guided by a wise sage who had taught him many secrets of the universe. I hope that by now you have started to recognize a recurring pattern in the accounts presented in this video. My intention in repeating certain points was to emphasize that there is a wealth of evidence pointing to the existence of unknown lands both beyond and within our known world. I urge you not to accept everything you are told as fact, as many of these supposed facts are merely constructs that may hinder your ability to unlock the secrets of the universe for yourself. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments section below and to show your support by liking and subscribing. Remember that it is the human curiosity that drives us to explore the unknown, and I commend you for joining me on this journey.